Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. Seems like it's been a minute or two, but as the old saying goes, life gets in the way. Between school, and I am a full-time student right now, between replacing a busted water heater and then having to go in and replumb a lot of stuff, it was a 5-day process. And on top of it, having some health issues along the way, nothing catastrophic. But I'm back, and what we're doing today, we're taking the Inglis L9-A1 high power for a spin. And we're going to run it through some drills, see how it, isn't that a beautiful gun? Nice holster too. It's a Zula. Carries this gun well. It retains it well, easy to get out. A Zula belt, hey, you can't ask for a better rig. In fact, over time, I may even start carrying this gun. I like this gun. Very, very sleek. Now, this is not the original Inglis, but this is SDS, and the guns are actually made in Turkey. But what they are high-power clones or high-power duplicates. This is very similar to what the British Army was carrying up until the early to mid 80s. So let's talk about the course we're going to run today. Now today I'm going to start off at 20 yards. And what I'm doing, I'm going back to 25-yard line, running a short 5-yard dash, getting into position, shooting, and I'm doing something a little different today. And by the way, this gun has been cleared and there are no bullets in the gun. But what I'm doing is something a little different today. Rather than normally I double tap, I got two adversaries, 2 and 2. Instead of doing that, I'm going 1, 1, 1, 1, like that. And just to see how, if that's a little more effective, if that's a little more practical. And then I'm doing it from 3 positions. Starting off doing it from standing. Then the second time I run up, do it kneeling. And then the third time I do it prone. And kneeling and prone are positions I need more practice with. All right, so then I'm going to do 10 yards. I'm going to be walking straight across, turning at a 90-degree angle. Once again, 2 targets, 1, 1, 1, 1. And, you may ask, why shoot it? Is this really applicable to self-defense? Well, for citizen self-defense, 20 yards might be a bit of a stretch, but, you never know. And if you can hit a target at 20 yards and there's movement involved and you're shooting from an odd angle, behind cover, trying to get behind cover, or trying to get as low as you can to make the smallest target as you can, that adds difficulty into what you're doing. It's a lot harder than it looks. So let's go ahead and take a look at the shooting. Now, this is not my best shooting. I'm still getting familiar with this gun. But once again, it's harder than it looks. And I did a last stage where I shot from 5 yards. I shot one-handed. But there I ran into a little problem. But number one, here I have two targets, pointing guns at me. So that wouldn't really be realistic to draw and shoot. So I had to do some kind of little distraction move, to be able to get the gun out and shoot. And then the gun locked up on me, or I thought it had locked back. But what happened, I shot 1, 2, the gun locked back, and I'm like, did I miscount my rounds? But you'll see what happened in this next clip. Hey man, I don't want any trouble. Oh, you want my hat? Like my hat? Here you go. Now, I thought I'd miscounted my rounds. However, this was a very critical fail right here with a jam. And that's not one that's going to clear easy. So what happened, Greg? Well, with a semi-auto, a lot of things can cause a catastrophic failure. It could be the ammo, it could be the magazine, it could be the gun itself, or it could possibly be the operator. But one thing I really want to debunk is I hear this all the time with people comparing revolvers to semi-autos, where they go, when a revolver jams, it's catastrophic. But with a semi-auto, all you have to do is tap, rack, and you're back in the fight. Well, no, not always. In fact, I've had a lot of semi-autos jam up where you tap, rack, and it doesn't work, because there's a lot of ways that bullets can jam and cause the gun to jam up. And once again, you're comparing a catastrophic failure is a catastrophic failure. Now, what I did have to do, I had to lock the slide back, and I was able to release the magazine. And it was odd, this was the spent casing, and then I racked a bullet out, but the very next bullet was this one right here. And I have no clue as to how that might have happened. When I loaded it in the gun, there didn't appear to be any defects. This is Blazer brass, and this is a brand I use a lot with different calibers around, and have very few problems with these. But every once in a while, you're going to get a bad round, and I think maybe this is what might have happened. But as far as the operator, you always have some know-it-all say, well, you were limp-wristing the gun. Well, shake hands with me someday and see what kind of limp wrist I have. Then tell me that. So we're going to be working with it some more. And this might be a carry gun one day. Who knows? And this is Greg and an SDS Inglis L9-A1, reminding you to always be prepared for the unexpected.